So the first case that I've taken on is the Idaho 4 murder case. Wow. It has consumed me. I have completed the astrological chart portion of it. I'm working on editing the backstory portion, which is just what it says, kind of the backstory that sets everything up. I thought that I was going to go ahead and first post the astro profile, but the more I think about it, that's the piece that I use where I cast the astrological chart for the date of the murder, and then I profile it to see if I can find any clues in it. But the more I think about it, it's probably best that I first post a video that tells the backstory and then follow that up with the astrology chart part. I've completed those two. The next part that I'm working on will be putting together a psychological narrative that has surfaced from back when this perpetrator was in elementary school, and it follows him through his school years, middle school, high school, college, university, all the way up to his PhD program, which he's in. That's what makes this fascinating. And then I want to compare that with the astrological chart and see if there's the purpose of it, see if what we know about him is reflected in the chart. For me, my interest in this is to try to understand how people who can commit these kinds of horrible crimes seem to evolve. So when there's a case that we can easily access information about the alleged perpetrator, because nobody has been convicted yet, just arrested, if we have that information and this turns out to be the murderer, in fact, and he's actually convicted, then we will be able to see pretty much the evolution of a serial killer, or at least of a mass murderer. So I believe the Idaho 4 case for me is going to be quite extensive, and it's going to probably be at least 4 or 5 parts, and that's probably going to be the profiling style that I am apparently evolving into for all these cases. And I'm not alone in this fascination with these. Hundreds of thousands of people worldwide have been captivated by this particular case. And mainstream media and the sleuthing community are kind of having a thing here, because the sleuths have been covering it extensively, and the mainstream media have too, but then the mainstream media accuse the YouTubers of doing things they shouldn't do, and devolving information that they find that isn't authenticated. But then a few days later, the mainstream media is paying close attention to them and using that information they're accusing them of not having authenticated. So it's a bit of a struggle there between the legitimate media and the YouTube sleuths. Well, anyway, I thought today it would be an easy day. I would just kick back, take a break from Kohlberger and his psychological dark shadow self. I was hoping to get some stuff done around the house. And then what happens? Bam! Here comes another Brian on the scene. This one is Brian Walshe, and he's from Cohasset, Massachusetts. He is the son of a renowned and affluent neurologist who evidently couldn't help his son. I'm sure he tried, but whatever help, if any, was given to this son, Mr. Brian Walshe could not be healed of his sociopathic ways. I haven't dug in yet into his story, but according to reports from individuals close to the family, Brian Walshe is alleged to be a psychopath. This caused his father to disinherit him. And that's just the tip of this iceberg of a story, and I am sure it's going to take me too often familiar backstories of another murderer in the making. Mental health seems to be a common denominator with these guys. So here's what I know so far. Brian Walshe and his wife, Ana Walshe, celebrated New Year's Eve at their home in Massachusetts with a neighbor. I'm not sure if it was a single neighbor or a neighbor and his wife, in the Walshes' home. And the last reported time that I can find for proof of life, that means anybody who's seen her, was between 1:30 and 2 a.m. when the neighbors left. She was still alive. But sometime after that time, when the neighbors left, the Walshes' home on January 1st, between January 1st and January 4th, Anna was reported missing by her employer. She just disappeared. She has not been heard of or found, and her body hasn't been found. So sometime after 2 a.m. on January 1st, when the neighbors left, and January 4th, when her employer reported her missing, Ana Walshe disappeared, and to date, her body or her have not been heard from or found. There's a lot of incriminating circumstantial evidence here. There is a missing wife, a bloody knife, a bloody axe, a mysterious fire, and a lot of lies leading to Mr. Walshe's arrest for misleading the investigation into his missing wife. Yeah, buckle up. This one is going to be a long, bumpy ride. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. So I'll be back. I'll start posting some things, I promise, real soon.